Hello, everybody. This, if I remember correctly, is episode 5 of the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin playthrough. Last time we defeated the last giant, I believe his name was. It was the giant boss down here. And then this time we should be going to the Wisp of Steel, grabbing the very first items there, and finishing up the Forest of Fallen Giants. Now, once you've defeated the giant, the last giant, it'll give you the soldier's key, or the soldier key, which will open a few doors, one of which is this. These enemies aren't too bad, they hit hard, but they're pretty easy. Just don't try to get fancy with them at the point of the game. So unless you're really good at parrying, don't try to parry these. I died before trying to parry them because I was cocky. Excuse me. So I think from now on, whenever I pick up new items, I'm going to read the descriptions out. I'll probably just dedicate an episode, probably once I finish the Forest of Giants, to reading out all the names of the items I've picked up so far, or at least I have in my inventory. Just cause. This would be the Pursuer boss fight, if you had not defeated him, or if you had not defeated him the first time. The best strategy I would suggest, if you're having trouble actually fighting him traditionally, is to try to bait him in front of one of these two ballistas, I believe they're called. And then you can activate them and deal massive damage by shooting them with them. By pressing once to load it, and then pressing a second time to shoot it. We'll do some good damage. Although I would suggest trying to beat him normally first a couple of times. Because it's better to try to get used to... It's better to try to get used to these enemies. Especially since you'll be fighting the Pursuer a bunch of times. He'll be buffed and everything. Now normally there should be an enemy up here. I'm guessing he fell down. But... the way you get to the Wisp of Steel is you rest in this... There's an examine button. Press that and a bird will come and take you to the steel. I'm not going to do that right this second, because I have a few things I want to do first. I'm having a brain fart, but you want to drop down here, because it'll give you a really good armor set. Especially if your armor set, your base one's pretty bad. Look at that. It's way heavier, but it's also way stronger. There is no helmet though, unfortunately. I think it's too heavy. It is? Is it? Just barely, it's not. It's definitely slower, but this extra defense is incredibly helpful. And I'm going to be leveling my fit soon. So next thing on the agenda, we open this door over here, where I'm looking. You saw it there. It'll open up to a area that will be explored later in the game, but we can kill one of the enemies here. It's a pretty easy enemy. And there's some stuff we can collect there. After that, we'll be going to the very last, no actually, the second to last area of the Forest of Giants. It's not going to be the place you open up with a key. It's just somewhere I decided not to go to yet. Okay, so here's the area. The way you open the doors, you have to get there's a ring you get when you go a little bit further into the game. And I forget what's behind this, but there's something behind it. It's you have to get this certain ring. It'll say, produce the symbol of the king, if I remember correctly. Amber Herb. I remember those are for restoring spell usage, which you probably won't be using much. The only thing I can think of you might be doing... Actually, we probably won't be using spells at all this run. Now, this enemy's not that hard. It's a little bit higher level than you, but he's weak and slow. Plus his AI is kind of dumb. And dead. Yep, he's not too hard. I don't know what he drops, and I don't think he respawns. Also earlier, the Drangleic set. There's also this, the Drangleic sword or great sword. It's a pretty good weapon. It's not. I'm not gonna use it, but it's pretty good. It has a, if I remember correctly, it has a moveset very similar to the Hollow Slayer, or at least the Hollow Slayer in Dark Souls 3. No idea about this game. I do not know what I just picked up. I blinked for a second. So we can check what this thing has. Yeah, it's very similar to the Hollow Slayer, I believe. It's definitely similar as in, it's not just a generic either up and down or side to side attack. This is not the area we're going to this episode. We're going to probably next episode because this is a kind of a difficult area. But this, you use a soldier key from the giant to open it, and it leads to probably the most jarring lighting shift in the entire game. There's a couple of skeletons down there. I'm not sure if they respawn, but they're not too bad. They're pretty easy to kill. Also, I want to show you the hitbox this later. There's a portion right here that you can stand on, despite it being literally air. It shows how awful this game's hitboxes are. Jump down here. Don't get stuck. There's a bunch of archers in this area. I think there's 4 if I remember correctly. There's that one. There's one up there. One right over there, and then one behind him. Yep. Also, another good thing that this set does is it gives you a decent chunk of poise, which is nice. Ooh, no. Apparently, I ran out of stamina. One thing I don't know if you might not have noticed, but if you run out of stamina completely, it won't let you sprint for a certain amount of time. Which you definitely want to be careful of if you're about to jump somewhere. If I didn't notice there, I would have rolled right off the side. Or I wouldn't have rolled right off the side. I would have walked right off the side and died. Okay, this... Well, let's kill this enemy first. I fucked that up. Can't dodge right through those. They're Amber Herb. Okay, so... This guy gives you the key to the mansion in Majula, which I will probably explore next episode, assuming it doesn't take too long. Or actually, I'll explore this episode. The NPCs in this game have so much fucking dialogue. There's some important things in his house. I believe an Estus Flask Shard. Or, no, it might be Sublime Bone Dust, whatever. It upgrades your flask, is what I mean. And there's a soul vessel, which allows you to respec your character's stats at the old ladies in Twix. And there's a Ferris Lockstone as well. It's really useful. Excuse me. God, I must have fucking bit the roof with my mouth somehow. It feels like I fucking cut it somehow. Like when you bite your gums, kind of like that. That's what it feels like. I don't remember how, but... I remember a hollow where an enemy drops down here somehow. What the fuck? Oh, okay, there. Go down here, there's an item. It is a Titanite Shard. Nice. I think that's it for this little side area. Like I said, we'll explore the mansion within this episode, then we'll end the episode and go to the final area, Forest of the Fallen Giants. And then we'll also go to the Lost Steel. Where the fuck am I going? Oh, right. Sorry, I have brain farts very easily. show you the shit ass hitbox. Now watch this. Like, what the fuck? FromSoft, what the hell? Dark Souls 2 hitboxes in a nutshell. It doesn't go very far, but still. It's it's not even like you're barely on a solid object. No, you're just straight up on air. Also this, how am I not able to go under this? Love Dark Souls 2. Honestly, Dark Souls 2 is not even really that bad. It's just bad for a Souls game. If it was literally any other franchise, or if this was just not named Dark Souls, it'd be a much better game. At least by comparison, I guess. Just because basically every other Souls game is straight up a masterpiece for a good chunk of the game. Except this one. Which really stinks. Also, I'm going to use these Souls. Okay, bye, I guess. I'm going to use these Souls to level, upgrade my weapon once. Twice, actually, I think. I think I picked up a large shard earlier. And I'll buy the Explorer set. Which gives that item discovery, which will be useful for the next area. Maybe I think I'll save for the Yor branch. Because those are useful for the statues. Stone statues of like people. Actually, I think I'll be able to get it right here. Yeah, I won't be able to grab my weapon, but whatever. I'd rather not risk losing these souls. It's always nice to have these. They're expensive and kind of rare, just like the lockstones, but... Shard. No. Also, the reason I'm not using these boss souls is because they can be made into weapons later, even though I probably won't use them. I like completion, so I'd suggest you do the same. Unless you have no interest in completion, and you don't plan on using them. Even though I'd still suggest saving them, in case you decide to mess around with different weapons later on. Of course, if you have the PC version, you could easily just use Cheat Engine, which I've used on a few accounts, or a few characters. Offline only, I haven't gone online with them, just to mess around and see exactly what I want to use. Earlier we just picked up a Ferrous Lockstone. Right there we picked up some torches and Titanite shards. See those little pigs down there? These things are deceptively difficult. They hit surprisingly hard, they're surprisingly tanky, they're pretty quick. And with how small they are, they can be quite difficult to actually hit. So I'd say be careful around them. I'm pretty sure this place lights up when you kill certain bosses. Like that fire, but I'm not sure. I think I heard it somewhere, but I don't remember. So now we head down here, which should give us either a Essus shard, or a Sublime Bone Dust, and a Soul Vessel. Yep, Essus / shard, and a Soul Vessel, which is how you respec this game. It's kind of odd, because the only games that you can actually respec in is Dark Souls 2 and 3. You can in Bloodborne, for some reason. Dark Souls 1, they probably hadn't thought of it yet. Even the remaster, they were too lazy to put it in. And Demon's Souls, you most certainly couldn't. And I don't think it's the remaster you can either. Then again, calling Dark Souls 1 remake an actual remake is kind of stupid. It's more of a re-release. There's barely any graphical difference, and the only really good thing is that it runs a lot better, at least on the consoles. Because, like, notoriously, White Town ran like shit on the old gen consoles. But the remake runs fine. Also, the Predator Eye edition on PC was complete ass without the SFX. It was like a super choppy monstrosity. It was a horrible, horrible port. Thankfully, it was a PC version that was awful, so it could be modded out. If it was on console, I don't think anyone would have stuck with it. I'll kill these enemies and then go on the episode. Also, see that fire lizard? Yeah, I was the thing that was breathing fire at us whenever we were grabbing the fire longsword. We find that a good bit later into the game. I'm pretty sure to get down there you have to have that ring. It gives you some good stuff down there. Probably a bone dust or Estus flash shard. Oh wait, this is the wrong way. Well, regardless. Thank you for watching. Hope you're really enjoying this, because I'm having a decent amount of fun. Doing YouTube has been a dream of mine for a while. It's nice I'm able to do it, because I finally got a good computer. But regardless, stay safe out there, and have a nice day, everyone.